Alright, to get everything set up, the first thing that you're going to do on your main Canva page is you're going to select Create, and then we're not going to use a template. We're going to scroll down to Custom Size, and then your default might be in pixels, but you want to make sure that you are selecting inches. We're going to do 17 inches wide by 11 inches high, and then you're just going to hit Create Design. So we don't want to use any templates or anything. We're just going to have our main design here, and then we're just going to rename it, and we're going to call it Impossible Worlds. Okay, and that's all you do to get everything set up. Okay, I just want to talk about where to find images. And the reason why we're starting off using Canva as opposed to like Photopea is just the challenges of actually getting images and copyright-free images, high-quality images. So the best place to start off with is Canva. And since you have Canva for education, you have access to everything. So Elements is probably the best. For example, I can type in something that I want. It gives me lots of options. You probably have used Canva before, so we don't want to use graphics, we don't want to use videos, we want to use photos because we want something that's realistic, right? So I'm just going to click something. They have backgrounds, they have lots of different stuff, but I'm just going to select something. So, and then you can just go ahead and you can find other images as well. We will talk about how to take out backgrounds and change colors and stuff like that too. But anyway, I'm just going to select a couple of images, right? So of course you know that you can resize them, I can crop them. So I'm just going to play around with it right now. Again, I'm not worried about, I'm just getting my images, right? So let's look at a couple other things. Okay. So have fun with this. It can be, again, this is like an impossible world. See what you want to do with this. So what's nice, if I click on a lot of these, some of them don't have a background already. I'm going to select one that does have a background in it, and the reason why is I just want to show you afterwards how to remove the background. I also, okay, we're just going to pick that one. Okay, so I'm just getting a bunch of images. I also want to talk about if I wanted to find images from the internet, is you could. You know how to do Google image search, so say right? Now the problem is that we're getting images from online. We need to make sure that they're really high quality. So we can make sure that we have really high quality images by going to Tools. We can go to Size and we go to Large, and that sort of prevents us from, getting really pixelated images. But the problem is that when we're talking about like copyright images, and we sort of talked a little bit about artists and images here. So if I don't have a problem with it. It's up to you to find images there. And of course, if you download any images, then it's really easy for you to upload your images there. Lastly, if you have any of your own photos on your phone that you want to upload, my suggestion is just to sync them with your Google Drive app on your phone, upload them to Google Drive, and then upload them here. We will do more photography, and we'll talk more about detail on that, but that's how you get your images. Okay, removing backgrounds is so easy with Canva. Again, it's really come a long way. So I have this picture of an umbrella, and I just want the umbrella, and I don't have the background. Now I don't want the background. Now what's cool about Canva is there's so many images, as you already seen, without the background. But with any image, so if it's on here and I really like it, but it's, has a background in it, or if there's an image that I've uploaded, all I have to do is click the image and just put BG remover for background remover. So makes it pretty crisp and clear. It's ready to go. Now, another cool thing that you can do is here I have a picture here of this funny engagement photo. What I want to do is I don't want to get rid of the background. I want to actually get rid of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. So I'm going to click on the image, and I'm going to go to Edit. And what I can do is either, you can brush, you can click, but I'm going to click on something. And what I can do is maybe I want to get rid of these flowers, all these different elements, but I'm going to click on Travis Kelce. I'm holding the Control key down and hitting select at the same time, and I just got to hit the trash key. And actually, so what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of both figures in this. So I mean, I could just get rid of one, and maybe Taylor Swift isn't getting engaged to someone else or whatever, but now I have that background. Now another cool thing that I could do is, okay, so I've got Fred Durst here from Limp Bizkit. I'm going to remove the background from him, right? And there we go. Now I got like Fred Durst like hanging out in the background and chilling out. So anyway, there's a lot of really easy things that we can do on Canva to get rid of backgrounds and foregrounds. Okay, so now I want to set up the scene. Remember we talked about we want to have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. So I just had this image of a lake. You could have a forest, you could have a cityscape, you could have a room, you could, so you want to set the scene somehow. And then what I've done is just uploaded a bunch of random objects, and then I've taken out some of the backgrounds, right? And then so remember that we want to set it up. So a few things, right? So I have my objects that are in the foreground. So I have this tree right here. Things that are objects that are closer to us are going to be larger. And of course, as things get farther away, they're going to get smaller. So I have my big tree here in the foreground. I'm going to have maybe this tree here in the middle ground. And maybe I'm going to put this guy here. Kind of far away in the background, right? So that kind of gives like an illusion of depth, right? So obviously as things get farther away, they get smaller. Okay, I gotta have this dude here, right? I could have him right in the foreground, pretty big, right? Maybe I can play around with it. Maybe I wanted him there. Maybe I'm gonna play around with the size, and I'm gonna have him super large. I don't know, right? So again, we can play around with that. I also added, some clouds. Just I thought maybe that'd be kind of cool to have them surreal. Now what I think I'd want to do with some of my objects, the second part that I want to show you is just layering. So this tree here is showing that it's in front of that tree, and I don't want it in front of that tree because it should actually be behind that tree. So if I want to move things to, different layers, just click on the object, 3 dots there, right? And it says layer. I'm just going to send backwards a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so now that works out way better because now he's behind there, that tree's behind there. And I think maybe it might be cool if this was behind that planet that I have there, right? So again, that's just your option there. It's really easy to do. Okay, and if you, so that didn't go behind the moon, I just make it go backwards again, right? Okay, so now I can play around with it. Now, none of this looks realistic yet because I still need to play with the colors and the shadows and stuff like that. But, I can copy, I can paste stuff, right? I can flip stuff around, right? I can play with the transparency of stuff if I want to kind of have that kind of misty, Okay, so those are some options there about setting up your scene. Okay, one of the most important things is the color harmony to make sure that this looks believable, that this could actually exist, even though logically we know that it can, is the colors have to go together. Like right now, it does look a lot like we've copied and pasted everything, okay? So it's super easy again on Canva. I'm gonna start with the background. Because this is a surreal, I could use realistic colors, but also I could play around with like really strange, eerie colors if I want. So I'm gonna click the image, I'm gonna hit edit. Okay, so I'm gonna go to adjust. So I can play around with all these different settings. So it's the temperature, right? The tint, if I want it kind of green, play with all of these different settings here, the colors, that's kind of cool, the saturation, I kind of like that, it's kind of neat. Anyway, so I can play around with that. Now that I have that done, I have to maybe make the trees, for example, let's start with this planet in the background. I want that to kind of work as well. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to play around with it till it make it look like it's kind of convincing. I probably want to have something like, it's kind of cool. Maybe I might even want to go with red, whatever, right? You can just play around with it until it looks a little bit more convincing, right? And then I would have to do the dude too, for example. So you have to go through each one, and you want to play around with the colors so that in the end, I think I want him warm to kind of stand out, to make it look like all those colors are actually convincing and bouncing off of them, right? So play around with all of it, okay? So that's one of the parts. Another part is that we're going to look at shadows and stuff like that too, okay? Ooh, okay. If you make a mistake and you don't like it, you can just put reset adjustments and that's there. Okay, I want to show you one more trick to make this look convincing. So I want to have this dude, so he doesn't look like he's floating on the dock, or any of the other images, anything you can add shadows to. So I just click on the guy to click on my image, I hit edit. Now instead of doing adjust, I'm going to go down to shadows. I'm going to hit, I'm going to select probably the drop shadow is probably the best, right? It can play around with the angle of like the shadow, so you can play around with like how you want it. I want it so it's under his feet. You know, you can make the distance. I can make a really big shadow if I wanted. I can talk about how much I want it blurred or not blurred, right? I'm going to blur it a little bit so it looks more convincing, right? So you can play around with it. You can play with the intensity of it as well. I'm going to make it pretty intense. I can also play around with the color of it. Shadows don't always have to be black. I think it works for this one. I think maybe actually a purple might be good. I wonder if a nice, maybe not, maybe a dark purple. I'm trying to match this shadow there to make it more convincing, right? Okay, there you go. So you can play around with any sort of shadows that makes it look like he's standing a little bit more on the dock, right? It's more convincing. It fits with the picture. So shadows really help make this more convincing. So I could probably go through those trees and play around with it, whatever I think. Okay, last part. When you are done, and don't forget all the different criteria, you want to be able to download this and hand it in on D2L. So to download this, just in case you haven't done it before on Canva, it's kind of deceiving because you have to go to share. Don't share it with me on here, please. You're going to go to download. Now, this is when having the Canva for Education, all the premium features really pays off, because what I want you to do is I want you to make that size as big as possible. It doesn't mean that it makes the picture bigger, it just makes it a higher quality, right? So that way, you know, it'll actually look like a really nice image, and then you're just going to download it. So it's just a PNG size all the way, and then just download it. And then when that's downloaded, then you can go ahead and hand that in the assignments folder on D2L.